think it's just a game. We'll play the part, but it won't be the same. They have a habit overcharging, forcing the hand into a plea bargain. Offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion denied. They say they've got so much evidence. Trace DNA is taking precedence over unknown blood found at the scene. I think it's time someone just came clean. Offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion denied. Been sentenced to death. I'm not a bad guy, not holding my breath. Rather do life than offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion the night. Motion the night. Motion the night. Motion the night. Close the night out right, panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing, till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right, tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. They go from the cafe, says forget about it, leans back, spins his thoughts the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare. Every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel. We watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night outright. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel. We watch the threads ignite.
All right, everybody, welcome to A Crimes After Dark on a Monday night. And I'm struggling a little backstage because I was trying to do some clips. I want to talk to my panel tonight about some clips that I have from Pavarotti, Brian Enton, kind of indirectly Asgard Industries. I want to be able to show some stuff and talk about it with a panel tonight because we were planning on commenting on the interview with Brent Turvey from the Custody Queens, but that got postponed. Don't worry, I have inside information that was completely unavoidable. It was not somebody pulled out. Brent Turvey did not back out and say, "Oh shit, you know what? I have second thoughts. Ann Taylor ripped my ass publicly. I'm out." That's not what happened. So just relax. That will happen. It will get rescheduled. The Queens have been working super hard on that. They said they've spent like a lot of hours preparing their questions, and they got a large number of questions that get prepared and organized. They're ready to go. It's going to be a great thing. All right, let's assemble the panel on stage. We've got Dago from True Crime Cafe. We've got my co-producer Robin. We've got 1-1 NYPD, not representing NYPD, but part of NYPD. Actually, captain of NYPD, not just part, like a big part. Anyways, but he does not represent NYPD. He just happens to be one of our resident experts, if you will. So, how are you guys doing this evening?
Good.
All right.
How are you?
Good.
Living the dream. I'm so pissed. I told you just before the show, I had messed up the clips and I messed it up again in a different way this time. So I can either fix it or I can hope that I can just do it on the fly. Yeah.
Stop hitting buttons.
It's horrible. You know, part of me, and
That's what they tell me.
While we're talking, I'll see if I can fix it one more time. I know exactly what happened. It just freaking in my haste not to waste, I blew it. So anyways, what do you guys have special? Anything that goes on today? And did you guys do, like, Dago, did you do a live today or anything like that?
I did like a half of one. I started late and I didn't realize the interview was going to be as long as it was. I was reviewing Jack Showalter's interview and I looked down at the time and I'm like, oh my God. So I had to cut that in half, and I'll finish that tomorrow and jump into another part of what I was going to do anyway. That way I could be here on time. So
wait, Dago, if you did half a live, does that mean it was 4 hours?
no, it was actually like, I think, an hour and a half. It's probably one of the shortest lives I've ever done.
I was gonna say that's no half live. That's like it's a fraction.
For me, well, for me, it's like a quarter of a live. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I usually go 2.5, 3.5 to 4 hours max now. But I used to go 6, 7, 8 hours at times. Sometimes I just never know to shut up.
Right. I get it. I know. I get it. It's all good. We're light-handed on mods as well, by the way. So I don't know who's all here for mods, but we do.
No, we're not. We have Amanda, Essie, and Day, and I don't think Rhonda's here, is she?
Yeah, Rhonda's not backstage, so that's why I said we're
okay.
light on mods. I know we're down at least one. I didn't know how many mods we were down.
Yeah.
But, so I can take off the banner saying music is playing and all that stuff because that's not happening anymore. So I thought what it would do is we'd do something a little different tonight. I wanted to talk about, since in lieu of talking about Brent Turvey's, what I'm sure will be an excellent interview when it happens. I want to talk a little bit about Christopher Wickham's book, Broken Plea. By the way, I feel like I talked to Christopher again today. I feel like I detected an enemy, and now I don't want to. This did not come directly from him. This is me like reading things into it. I detected a little bit of burnout from all the interviews and all the hours that he's spent doing this, doing the rounds so far, and I'm not sure he's terribly excited about doing more YouTube interviews. He did offer to come back and do another one with us because he promised that early on. But I told him about Harsh Reality had done a video just recently, and Harsh Reality said, now I have questions for him. So I told Chris, hey, Harsh Reality now says he's got questions for you. And he kind of called me and said, I'm not sure how many more of these YouTube interviews I want to do. And he didn't say he was burned out, but it was kind of like how many more am I going to do? I've already done 12 hours of videos and whatever. And so I don't know where that's going to stand.
Well, he's answering the same questions every day in different ways. Sometimes some the new ones, different ones. It is what it is. So at some point, you're going to get burnt out. And he did it all very quickly. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. He burnt. Yeah.
I think he crammed everything into 1 week and you could ever do in 1 week, period. So
yeah. Looks like Esther Hans donated to the True Crime Cafe. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Esther. Very much appreciated, dear. God bless, hon.
And let's see. I'm redoing those clips right now so we can.
You want me to? While you're doing that, you want me to do the intro?
A monologue for us, right? Yeah.
I got one. That'll give you some time. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Monday night?
Of course.
All right. Jackson, Juliana, my beautiful wife. Love you guys always. There's something unsettling about a timeline that almost makes sense. A sequence of events laid out just clearly enough, just structured enough, that people stop asking where the cracks are. Times get stamped, movements get outlined, a version of the night takes shape. And before long, it becomes the version. But here's the problem with timelines. They only tell you what's been filled in, not what's missing. Welcome to Devil's Advocates, where we don't follow the story, we take it apart. Moscow, Idaho, November 13th. A house on King Road. 4 lives. Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernel, Ethan Chapin. Around 2:53 a.m., Kaylee and Maddie's phones go silent. And silence like that, it feels definitive. But is it? Because silence doesn't always tell you what happened, only that something changed. And then there's the other gap. Xana and Ethan, when did they get home? What exactly happened between their return and the moments that followed? Because in the outline of that night, there are spaces, unaccounted minutes, loose edges in the timeline that's supposed to hold everything together. And those gaps, they matter because cases like this don't fall apart all at once. They unravel in small places. So the question isn't just what happened that night. It's what are we assuming happened without ever proving it? Because a clean timeline is comforting, but real events, they leave questions, they leave gaps. And that's where we step in. Welcome to Devil's Advocates, where nothing gets a free pass and every timeline gets tested. And with that, live from New York, it's Monday night.
Yay! All righty. Pitter patter, let's get after her. So here's the thing. I did fix the clips, so that's good. However, I have more control if I do it a different way than I was going to do it, loading it backstage. So I think I'll do it that way instead. I'm going to present from my other screen with audio. So before I start getting it, so what I want to do, guys, is I want to show a clip from Brian Entin Investigates to show you the difference between large channels. He's got 500,000 people following him. You get the big news channels, they got millions of people following him. Mainstream media has big followers, and Brian Entin's got he dwarfs all of our channels. Yeah, all of our channels combined, and that includes Lana and Harsh Reality. All of us combined don't equal the what Brian Entin Investigates.
No.
Is. So I want to point out how he covers the case, and why is this what the masses flock to? It feels to me like I don't understand how people aren't using good logic and why they flock to poor logic. So, and again, I want to say before I do this, my intent is not to shit all over other creators. That's not what this is about. I want this to be a conversation piece about how people frame things and whether or not they're being open-minded, non-judgmental, or whether they've completely made up their mind about a case because that's what the official narrative of the day is. All right. So I'm going to put this on screen. Now, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put us in this lower kind of look here and remove this. And I'm going to show if I can find it. I've never really done this before. Just real quick. This is Brian Entin's channel. Brian Entin Investigates. As soon as you see him, you'll recognize him. He's a major face, of course, in Idaho 4 space. But I wanted you to see his channel and give a shout out, because anytime that I take clips from somebody, I want to at least give you the opportunity to know where it came from, so you can follow this channel if you like, at Brian Entin Investigates. Like I said, 500,000 subscribers, 588,000 subscribers, dwarfs all of our channels with his coverage. So let's take a peek at his coverage. And I want to pause it at various places and talk about it as a group to see how you guys feel about some of the things that he says. So I'll put us now in this view. I'll get rid of this for a moment, and I'll put that on stage. All right. You can tell where I'm going to go. I'm going to show what I feel is...
Do we get to be honest, Lee?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask ahead of time, because you know me.
All right, let's do it. Let's make sure I have sound, by the way, when I play it.
I need some smoke.
And Brian Koberger pled guilty to murder. He is the murderer. He admitted guilt. He admitted guilt when he took the guilty plea, and he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. No chance of parole. That's just fact. That's what happened.
So before I get started, right off the bat, I don't have a problem with him saying Brian Koberger admitted guilt, so therefore we can now say he's the murderer. But he's just saying it definitively. Brian Koberger is the murderer. He is a murderer because he said so. There's a flaw in that logic.
100%, because what he's doing is he's brainwashing is what I call it. He's pushing the narrative into people's minds. He says it multiple times, and he does it again after that again to make sure it's instilled in our minds that Brian was the killer. You're a liar, bro, because that's not even how that went. He took a plea deal. He didn't admit guilt. None of that stuff. So
there's absolutely. And unfortunately, I mean, I know we've spoken about it like a million and one times on this show, but it's sad. Many people in this country don't understand, that book Framed and what goes on in this country. That most cases don't even go to trial. People are busy in their lives and their work and everything, and a lot of people think that every case is like a ends in like a Perry Mason like trial or something. It doesn't happen.
No.
So real quick, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Go ahead, Robin. What'd you have?
That's what I was going to say. You beat me to it.
I wanted to make sure we got that in there. So, and again, I want people to understand the difference. It is in Brian will make a point. Brian Entin will make a point in this interview that before he took the plea deal, or before he pled guilty, he would rather say it that last way, before he pled guilty rather than take the plea deal. Before he pled guilty, I was real careful, he will say. We'll hear him say it. I was real careful about saying alleged killer. So I don't know that he was real careful, to be honest. Like Dago shaking his head.
He wasn't.
I don't think he was real careful, but he's going to try to, hey, I was real careful to say alleged killer and not presume guilt. Well, bullshit. You were presuming guilt very early, in my opinion.
Day one.
But now he's saying, but now I don't have to. Now I can just call him a murderer because he said he was. The problem I have with that is he also said he did it alone, and he clearly did not do it alone if he did it at all. And so why is it okay for you to take him at his word that he did it, but not that he did it alone, because he couldn't have done it alone? That's one of my counterpoints. But let's continue on with the interview. I want to show a few more. We had a lot to cover, so let's get into this. All right. This is a good view. I guess we could have done it one way or another, side or this way. All right, let's play it some more.
And before his guilty plea, if you go back and if you watched me on News Nation, I was very, very careful to say alleged killer Bryan Kohberger, because that is my job, to try and be as fair as I can. And I would say alleged killer.
And again, I would argue to Brian, it's okay to say that he pled guilty, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the murderer. But Brian's gone all in. Once he pled guilty, he is now the murderer. That's what happened because he said so. And we can all now shut up because he is the killer. He said so. And I'm going to take issue with that a little bit more as we get into this.
Well, Lee, too, because of who he is and what he does, there's people out there that are unlike us that will say, okay, that's all I had to hear. I'm done.
Yep. Right.
And it's logged down. That's the end of it.
And that's the larger audience. More people follow his channel than all of us combined. Right.
And,
all right, let's get. Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
I was just going to say, and a lot of, I always say this, a lot of it goes back to the fact that this is what we're teaching to our kids now, to not question things.
Yep.
You just go along with what your elders are telling you. Well, older does not always mean wiser. Right. So we need to go back to teaching our children. It's okay to question things that don't seem right to you, because nothing about this case has been right from the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. All right. Let's continue on with this. I see the chat, by the way, is getting spun up about his comments.
They are.
Good for you guys. We have a little bit more. Cool. I think we have a little bit more educated folks in here. All right. Let's continue.
Yes. We sure do.
But now we can call Bryan Kohberger a murderer because he pled guilty.
That is one of the most ignorant fucking comments.
I
know.
We
can call him a murderer because he pled guilty. Read the book Framed by John Grisham, just as a starter, about how many people plead guilty to things they didn't do.
What's funny too is the look on his face plays into the fact that it's almost like he's excited about it. Like, okay, guys, all right, great. Yeah. Now we can call him a murderer. Let's do this.
Like a celebration.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
And he's literally in this. We're not going to watch his interview with Christopher Wickham, but this video has a clip of him interviewing Christopher Wickham, and he's going to shit all over Christopher Wickham's book. And now comes somebody who's going to try to question the fact that he's a murderer. We know he's a murderer because he said so, and now comes a book trying to make us question the murderer who said he's a murderer, so he's a murderer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's horrible. All right, let's continue on.
His DNA was on the knife sheath.
The fuck it was.
No, it wasn't.
No,
another.
it wasn't.
Yes. Fucking lies.
More
Bullshit lies.
No.
Oh my God. Like that part bothers me. Hey, look, guys, his DNA was at the house. Really? Because how come Bill Thompson said I can't place Bryan Kohberger at the house? Because his DNA wasn't at the house.
Thank you.
But anyways, I see. I had to explode there. Hold on. All right.
I think we all did.
Oh yeah. So here he's going to continue to lay out the proof why we know Bryan Kohberger is the murderer. Yeah. He starts with his DNA was at the crime scene. Now he's going to continue on with all the shit that proves he's the killer.
His car was seen on surveillance video.
No.
Eating away in the house where it happened.
Wrong.
But wait a minute, his car was there.
His car, yeah.
Up your ass with his car.
A car was on video, not his car. A car.
Right. Again, Ann Taylor argued. What the hell is that scream from? Ann Taylor argued it's up for the jury to determine whether or not it's the same car passing over and over again. You prejudice the jury when you're saying suspect vehicle 1 arrives now, and then you see suspect vehicle 1 again, and then you see suspect vehicle 1 again, and it's just. Like she said, you're prejudicing the jury right now. They don't even know that's the same car. You know how many white cars there are in the neighborhood at that time?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to keep going? We can do this. We can do this.
Yeah,
Let's
I know.
kill it.
I know
Let's-
what's coming
let's kill
next.
it.
Unfortunately, I know what you're going to show next.
Near the house, and his phone was shut off during
Nope.
the time of the murder. And
Yeah, he started. We kind of talked over a little bit. He says the phone was pinging near the house, and he shut his phone off. So this is how we know he's
Bullshit.
the murderer. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get past this guy's
Now-
video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything he says, we're going to stop on it because every bit of it's bullshit. Every single bit of
Yep.
it.
Now you know it's
Uh-oh.
great. I would love if you were able to interview Brian Etten and make him watch the 2:30 video
Yeah.
where we hear all those screams, and you
Oh my God.
have him
Yeah.
answer, how is this not exculpatory evidence?
I feel like I owe an apology. Everybody's saying how painful this is. Their blood pressure's
It's
up.
painful.
They're yelling at the
Yeah.
screen. I'm like, I'm
I-
sorry. I didn't
always
mean
have to
pain.
apologize when I run anything by him or Banfield,
Oh,
Lee, so
my
don't feel bad.
gosh.
Thank you
love
very
this
much.
comment.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that. I so love this panel for their ability to hear and see everything said, yet stay true to their own minds. You are a good influence on the people who believe every word a screen tells them. Thank you very much. Yeah, we
Yes.
definitely are not sheeple who just buy, and we think critically, I think, on this show. And I think the people who enjoy our stuff think critically as well and get very angry when the sheep
Scram.
when the
Yeah.
sheep herder goes bang, we're supposed to just go bang along with it. Like, no.
Well, you
All
know
right.
what? You know what? We would love to bring him on the panel. You know why? Because
Yeah.
if we were able to bring him on the panel, then maybe we could shed some light on whatever the 500,000 whatever followers that he has.
Right,
Maybe we
right.
can make some of them
Right.
wake up. We could snap them out of being trapped in the matrix. And
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on with this beautiful, eloquent statement of Brian Koberger's guilt.
there was more evidence, but those are sort of the key things that stand out to me. And then, of course, he admitted to it and he pled guilty, and there was no trial. And he had, there was the big hearing when he pled, and then there was the sentencing, and he pled guilty and admitted to the murders.
So it must
It's
be
like our
true.
place.
It must be. He pled guilty. It must be true. He is the murderer. And so therefore it must be true. And then he's going to tell us it has to be true because police told us so. He tells us multiple times, law enforcement said there was nobody else involved. So nobody else was involved because law enforcement said no one else is involved. So,
Grind it in, Brian.
They told
Make
us.
Force
All
it
right.
down people's throats. Brainwash.
So here's where he's gonna bash Whitcomb. He already had an interview with Whitcomb, and then he does this intro bashing about here comes you might as well have said here comes some idiot that wants to say that Brian Koberger didn't do this or that he did it with others, and we know he didn't do it with others because police told us so. So that's his logic. We know he didn't do it with others because law enforcement told us so. So let's listen carefully to how he frames how he treats his interviewee. He interviewed Christopher Whitcomb and then shit all over him with here comes this idiot's book about saying that Brian Koberger did it with somebody else, which we know he didn't because law enforcement told us that he did it alone.
So I know a lot of that goes without saying, but I just kind of wanted to set up this episode saying that because there is a new book coming out next week called Broken Plea, and it attempts to dismantle the evidence and make the case that either Brian Koberger didn't do it or that Brian Koberger had an accomplice. And police have said repeatedly that there was no accomplice.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Police
That's
have said
bullshit,
repeatedly
though.
there's no accomplice. So this book is trash. You can throw it in the garbage because even though he's going to show you in the book how there's proof of other people, throw it in the trash. Police already said there was nobody else involved. And here comes this book. So don't read it. It's trash. Law enforcement already told us there was nobody else involved.
Chat's getting fired up.
Enough
I love
already.
this comment.
If Enton farted in a room, he would blow his dog.
I'm starting to get the fog light feeling. Just so you know.
Yeah. All right. Let's
Getting
continue.
that fog light feeling.
We will get to some better stuff when we move to Pavarotti's breakdown of Asget Industries. So you'll get some redemption when we get to that part. But let's get through. If we can get through this together, kumbaya. Let's do this.
And if you think about it, if you know the case, if you followed the case the way I have, the accomplice thing, again, first of all, he pled guilty. Police have said there's no accomplice. But even if you just think about it outside of that, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, because who would his accomplice be?
Oh, God.
Brian Koberger had no friends.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy, Brian.
How could he have accomplices? He had no friends. Right. He's a loser. He's an incel. Didn't we tell you that 12 times? He's a loser. He has no friend. How could he possibly have?
I was hoping he was going to say, like, maybe he used his dog training skills to trick Murphy.
Oh, no. Panda Hug is leaving. Panda Hug's like, I'm out of here. No, don't leave the show. We're just getting started. Boy. Unbelievable. How could he look, Brian? How could he possibly have had accomplice? He has no friends. That's literally. So Ethan rips off someone's hair. Somebody else's hair is in the bed with the girls upstairs, but it couldn't be because Koberger has no friends. Well, how about the other option? Maybe if fucking Koberger wasn't there. If you want to insist Koberger had no friends, maybe the other reason is because Koberger wasn't there. It was some other group of people. He didn't even consider that. Why? Well, because Koberger said he was guilty. So the circular law that I'm trying to point out to is the complete and utter lack of critical thinking skills. So we know he did it because he said so. We know it was alone because law enforcement told us so, and it makes sense because he has no friends. So it has to be true. So, all right. I think we lost Dago too. He's off camera, off muted.
Yeah, probably.
You
probably made him sick.
All right, let's keep going.
No one seemed to really like Brian Koberger besides his family. And I've talked to the investigators who went through his cell phone, and he was close to no one except his family. He basically texted no one except his family. He was close to his family, and he was close to his dog. So the idea of some secret accomplice, someone that he was close to enough and communicating enough with that they would be able to work together on these murders, it just doesn't make sense to me. And again, police have repeatedly said that Koberger acted alone.
But there you go. There you go. He couldn't have had accomplices because he has no friend.
But he wants to go. But it makes sense to him that he did this in like 4 minutes and cleaned up on the second floor. But that makes sense.
This dude was able to take with the coordination issues. Snowy vision was able to take out 220-pound, 6 foot tall, 6'4" Ethan, and plus 3 other people who were athletic and everything else, but he was able to do it all in 4 minutes and clean up.
Yeah. And the baby B here has a great comment. I love how Hitler says we didn't ask him why he did it because we can't trust anything he says, but you can trust that he said he did it and he did it alone. So which one is it? Can you trust what he says, or you only trust what he says when it's something that you want the answer to, and anything else must be a lie? I only accept. I reject your reality and I substitute my own.
Convenience standards.
Yeah. Right. All right. We're going to get through about a minute, and I think we only got a minute and 23 seconds left of Enta, and then we'll get into some of the better stuff. All right, let's keep going. He read the book, but
I struggled with whether to do an episode on this book, but the fact is, author Christopher Whitcomb, he did get a lot of new information. I've read the book, and there's new stuff in there. The book does give us a glimpse into what Brian Koberger's defense would have been if there was a trial. And we didn't get to see that because there wasn't a trial. And Whitcomb did get documents that no one has ever seen. Okay, there's letters from Koberger to his parents from jail. Those have never been publicly accessible. I don't know how he got those. There's FBI interviews with Koberger's mom. I've never been able to see those transcripts until I read the book. The author even claims to have a recording of Koberger's lawyer, Ann Taylor, talking about why they decided to take the plea. And he, there's even like quotes in there summarizing what Ann Taylor said.
And I want to pause for a minute because this is what drives me nuts. So what Brian Enton admits is this guy has seen things I've never seen. They question the single killer motive because Ethan ripped somebody's hair out, it looks like, in the struggle, and it wasn't Brian Kohberger. Somebody else ripped somebody's hair out upstairs, and it wasn't Brian Kohberger's. And so he's seen those facts, and you never have. And yet you're still like, but he couldn't have done it with somebody because he's a loser and he has no friends. But I've seen evidence in the book that he clearly saw things I have. So how is it that you are shitting on him when you're admitting he's seen things you've never seen before? You're not really arguing that what he says is a lie. You're not saying he's lying about it. You're acting like he does have access to things you haven't seen. And what he's telling you in the book is there was other accomplices there. That's what if you read between the lines, what he's saying is there was other accomplices. And your answer is, well, it can't be because he's a fucking loser and he has no friends. How can he possibly have done it with somebody? Okay, Enton, how about you explain whose hair is in Ethan's fist? How about you explain whose hair was ripped out by the bloody roots up in Kaylee and Maddie's bed and it wasn't them? Explain that then. If it wasn't Kohberger and he has no friends, and how'd that happen? Tell me how that happened. I would like to hear his argument how that happened.
I mean, he's got 588,000 people subscribing to him, and he's a loser. So what the hell's the difference?
Yeah. Every time I hear that about Brian, all I hear is that one creator, I can't remember who it is, talking about Kohberger pimping.
Oh yeah,
pimping ain't easy.
Yeah,
let's finish this 22 seconds, and then we can go get on to the better stuff.
Which is, all of that is new. Those are things that I didn't know about. So there is new information. And just like I've covered every other detail of this case, I am going to cover this too. And I also spoke with the author, Whitcomb, and you're going to hear part of that interview in a few minutes. So and
that's basically it for that part right now. Oops, I'm going to pause this. What I want to point out is, and I don't want to give anything away, but the gist I got from Christopher Whitcomb after he had done Brian Enton's interview was somehow that guy turned that interview into being his opinion about the book and not about my opinions in the book. He completely spun the entire interview into, but this is what really happened. We know because law enforcement told us, and he pled guilty. So why are we reading your book?
That's what he does with everything he talks about.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right. How does he have 500,000 people following him and we're all struggling to get anybody to listen?
Brainwashing.
Unfortunately, people, just there aren't enough people who are willing to ask questions. They just make everything like, oh, it's on the news. Oh, okay, that's it. That's the truth. That's it.
I think it's more attractive. People enjoy watching Oompa Loompas talk about the Idaho 4 case than us. That's all.
I mean, when I bring up this case, at work or whatever, I mean, people, right away, everyone's always like, oh, well, that.
The guy that killed all those kids.
Yeah, they think that I'm nuts. Like,
of course, I mean, because it's clear
I am nuts, but that's another story.
His DNA was at the scene, and he was all over somewhere near that town, like 30,000 other people. So of course he did it. All right, so let's get into some more clips. I'm gonna take this off screen for I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this on screen. So the first thing I want to talk about is Asget Industries. All right.
Okay.
So pretty lady, very, very smart, very good with computer graphics, and very, very persuasive. I'll admit, when I saw her first video on Kohberger, I was like, damn, that's some good analysis and makes me have to rethink. And when I saw her second video, there was part of me that said, damn, that kind of makes some sense. But once you get past the shock value, because she's really great with graphics, and she makes it look like, she's like, Oli, you look at it and you're like, that makes total fucking sense. I get it. And then you're like, wait a minute.
Nope.
Pav ripped this apart.
And we're gonna show J. Embry Pavarotti's breakdown in part and talk about his breakdown, and then we're gonna talk as a panel about Pav's opinions about her opinions. So that's how we're going to do this, right? So what I want to do is I just want to preface Pavarotti, I'm taking all my next clips from Pavarotti's video where he broke down an analysis of Asget Industries. But I want you to know who she is. That's Asget FX, 52,000 followers. Like I said, really, really good with animations. In fact, her animations were used on the Dateline piece that came out just weeks before the jury was going to be set. Yeah. And she was a critical piece of explaining. And it was funny because when I saw her second video, I thought, oh, isn't it funny? She's changed several key parts of the story. It has always been Kaylee and the dog, and Kaylee said somebody's here. Now Xana's the one that said somebody's in the house. It's Xana, not Kaylee. Yeah. She's totally changed the order of things. So now it's and she changed where Xana was. She originally said Xana was going to get some food out of the kitchen and saw and heard a commotion upstairs and went up to go check on the commotion because Kaylee and Maddie were being murdered upstairs, and that's what drew her upstairs. Now she's changed in her new video and doesn't say that at all. It was Murphy barking that she heard that drew her upstairs, and she was in her bedroom. She wasn't in the kitchen. So it's funny how, despite the fact that she's super good at telling a compelling story, she doesn't address that she's completely changed the order of events and what happened and who did what, while making it sound again definitively this is how it happened, when it's a contradiction to what she already said happened last time.
Through all of her stuff. And it's the whole mind control, I call it, for lack of better terms. They're controlling the way we see and hear things, guys, when they do this. Because she repeatedly, as you'll see and hear when they talk about it, Brian Koberger did this. Brian Koberger does that. Brian Koberger goes here. Then Brian Koberger goes there. And not the killer. Okay.
Yeah.
They do this on purpose, folks. It's all part of the propaganda training.
And I thought her first video was a little bit more. She tried to make it a little more technical. I thought, like, she actually talks about getting the angle of the blood, figuring out where the blood. So in this one, she completely leaves that out, and Pav makes references.
That it's in my clips that we're going to talk about. And you're right. I'm glad Diego brought it up, because one thing I wanted to point out: this video was made after Brian Koberger pled guilty, so it's okay in some regards. But again, it would be nice if she would say the killer came in and the killer did this and the killer did that. But no, it's clearly Brian opened the door, and then Brian went upstairs, and Brian did this. And you can almost forgive her because at this point, Brian has pled guilty. However, she did that in the first video before he was even on trial, before he pled guilty. And she said, Brian went up and did this, and he brutally murdered these people. And then Brian went, and she did all that Brian shit before he even had his first day in trial. And that convinced a lot of people that's what Brian did.
And that's how this happened, you guys. She's selling propaganda. Just like Jensen is, and Ian Banfield, and Legacy Media, every one of them, from the moment the handcuffs are put on that man's wrist, that's what they did, and the story, all the way up to the sentencing hearing, and they're still doing it.
And before you play the clip, and I think overall, like, the main point of what Pav makes, because I saw his whole thing, is how dangerous. Like, she's very like you said, she's very talented at putting, I don't know how, I don't know how to do that stuff. Very talented.
Use it for good.
But it's very dangerous too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into some of this discussion. Again, this is going to be video clips from Pavarotti, Jay Embry. Oh, by the way, I didn't show his banner, so let me make sure that's on the screen real quick. So that's Jay Embry's website. Most people know him by Pavarotti. And so it's at Pavarotti ID for like Idaho 4, 39.4 thousand followers. He's considered one of the OGs in the Idaho 4 case, right? A lot of people, Jay Embry, for their
been here for really a long time.
Yeah. So this is Jay Embry's video. Clips from it, in which he's going to have clips from Asget Industries. So I want to make sure you knew what both of those channels were. All right, let's get into it right now.
Because Xana was in the path of the cast-off, it creates a masked area where no stains are found, which is illustrated here.
So based on that fairy tale, if Xana was blocking the cast-off from hitting the wall at that spot, that means Xana would have received the blood from the cast-off that didn't hit the wall, meaning she should have Kaylee and Maddie's blood on her person because of that.
Thank you, sir.
However, no forensic results have tested positive for Maddie or Kaylee's blood anywhere near Xana's room, Xana's person, or anything else. So once again, it's a made-up observation with no evidence to back it up. In fact, all the evidence goes against it.
So let's make sure we understand. Yeah, it was a great point by Pavarotti.
Yes, very much so.
At first, you look at her graphic and she shows how spatter hits the wall to one side and the other side, and the place in the space in the middle where she would have been running is the place where there's no spatter because she blocked it. And it looks good. It looks good when you see it. But Pavarotti makes a great point. If that's the case, then she should have Maddie and Kaylee's blood on her, and then Maddie and Kaylee's blood should be inside the bedroom, and it's not. So that's a problem with your theory.
Fairy tale, like he called it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good observation. I'm glad he pointed it out. So kudos for that one. Any more thoughts on that before we get on to more?
Other than it's bullshit.
No.
All right. Now this is going to be an important point, and I want to bring this up because so the book Broken Plea, I'm going to preface this before you hear it. The book Broken Plea talks about Dylan Mortenson's cell phone or Apple Watch. I think it might have been her Apple Watch, recording flights of stairs that she climbed during the time that she said she was downstairs sleeping with Bethany. And it shows that she actually climbed 2 flights of stairs. Now, Pavarotti is going to say in here, he's never heard anything about anybody being able to prove anybody had climbed flights of stairs. But what's interesting is in Asgut Industries video, she's going to claim that flights of stairs were recorded showing that Xana went up to Kaylee and Maddie's bedroom, which Pav calls it on and says, I've never seen any such thing about any flight of stair data. And if it's the case, I'd like to see it. Christopher Wickham points out that Dylan has flights of stairs that she climbed. He didn't mention anything about Xana having flights of stairs that were climbed. But so let's listen to that a little bit and talk about it. All right, hold on.
A source revealed that Xana's phone recorded steps and elevation change, which is how it's known she went to the kitchen and the 3rd floor.
By the way, I want you to look at the date, February 2026. This is her first video where she claims Xana went into the kitchen. That shows Xana in the kitchen. She went into the kitchen and she noticed that the sliding glass door was open, alerting her that something was wrong. And then she heard a commotion upstairs. So she went upstairs and she caught Brian, instead of saying the killer. This is again before he was even on trial. Brian was in there killing them. She should have said the killer, we think, was upstairs, but no, Brian is upstairs. So she hears a commotion after seeing the sliding glass doors open. All of this theory she lays out in February, and Xana goes upstairs to see the commotion, and then he chases her back down to her room and kills her. That's the theory from February. It slightly changes how Xana got upstairs from this theory to something completely different. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But anyways, I just wanted to preface that. This is about the flights of stairs thing, though. It's what we're focusing on mostly.
Now, we have never seen any information regarding any step information from any of the victims' phones whatsoever.
And again, the point there has been now, the book, like I said, the book by Christopher Wickham talks about Dylan climbing flights of stairs. And in fact, it had steps that she had taken and how much distance she traveled in the house. So some of that information has come out now in the book. So when Pavarotti says none of that's come out, I don't know if he hasn't read the book or if he did.
I think it was something like 100, was it like 170 meters or 140 meters? Something like that.
140, I think.
140, yeah.
All right, so we're now gonna watch a clip, and Pav catches it. We're gonna watch a clip about what drew Xana upstairs. Is it the version in February that she heard the murders being committed upstairs and that drew her upstairs, or is it the dog barking that drew her upstairs? Was she in the kitchen or was she in her bedroom? Because it's completely changed from February's version to now, and both of them sound really, really good when you hear it. Makes total sense. The problem is it's 2 different versions of the stories. So which one is it? All right.
The sounds of barking grab Xana's attention, and she comes out of her room to see what's going on.
And now, once again, the barking is the mechanism for bringing Xana out of her room. Remember, the original assessment was Xana was in the kitchen getting her food when she heard what was going on.
As she enters the kitchen, she's a little shocked to see the sliding glass door wide open. And at the same time, she hears a serious commotion going on upstairs. The sounds of barking grab Xana's attention, and she comes out of her room to see what's going on.
So again, you see the difference. Back in February, Xana went into the, when she tells you flat out, this is what happened. Xana walked into the kitchen, noticed the sliding glass door open, heard a commotion upstairs and went up to check on it. And then Koberger chased her down the stairs. That was said definitively as if she was there. Now she's in her room and she hears Murphy bark and that draws her attention. So she goes out of her room, not the kitchen, and goes upstairs to see. Changes completely.
And that's my biggest. Go ahead,
it's
Robin,
creative license.
Yes.
That is what this is. It is the same problem that I have with Howard Bloom's book. It is creative license. We don't know where Xana was when the commotion started. We don't know where any of them were, really. This is all guesswork, but it's being put out there as fact, and it is irresponsible, and it is dangerous.
It's my biggest problem with this whole, everything Asgat does. No matter how creative she is, she's very creative. Use it for good, because what you're doing here is absolute fuckery and bullshit. Excuse the phrasing, because it is dangerous. Because you're expressing your views as factual views based on the fact that you make it sound like you were there with them that night. Okay,
right.
None of us know, including law enforcement or anybody else, what absolutely happened that night. Nobody does. You don't know that Xana was surprised. You don't know that she was upset. You don't know that she sneezed. You don't know any of these things. Stop saying shit like this, and it shouldn't be allowed. I'm sorry.
And it would be one thing if she said, "This is what I'm going to show you what I think happened." And if she prefaced it that way, I'm going to show you what I think happened. But instead, what she does is she states that Xana heard this, and then Xana did this, and Brian was killing her, and then she did, and here's what she heard, and it's not at no point does she say this is my best guess. It's all like this is how it happened.
Can you imagine if a jury saw this?
Yeah. The jury would find that very compelling. Yeah.
Thank you.
What would be better too if she showed like different theories, like, well, if this happened based on the info that we have, maybe it happened this way, or
or
stuff like that. Show different things, almost kind of, yeah. But if you're gonna say that, though, if you're gonna say, well, maybe it happened this way, it's got to match the facts that we have, though. That's the issue,
right?
So that's I know it's hard to get all this stuff correct, but if you're gonna try to make something accurate, because I know one of the big things that Pav brings out in this debunking video, I don't know if you're gonna show it, is even kind of like the angle and how she shows the people walking with the flow of the cast off blood.
We're gonna show that. We're gonna show that a little bit as well. Yeah. So this part we're gonna focus on is the change, and Pav did a great job. And Pav, to be fair, Pav might overdo it a little bit, but that's okay. I like when he does it sometimes, but sometimes he'll play the same clip like 27 times so you really fucking get the point. Like, he's got clips where Dylan said in like 3 different interviews, I know it was Kaylee who said there's someone here or there's someone in the house. I know it was her. I know her voice. I recognize her voice. She was dancing with the dog. It was Murphy and her. I know it was Kaylee. Now all of a sudden, I was stunned to hear it's Xana who said someone's in the house, and Kaylee wasn't the one who said it at all. And here's Pav breaking that down for us.
When getting there, she sees a stranger and yells someone's in the house and runs downstairs.
That's Xana.
So not only are you changing witness statements over several interviews of somebody saying they knew exactly who it was that said someone's here, now you're just changing it to Xana.
When getting there, she sees a stranger and yells someone's in the house and runs downstairs.
How do you know it was her? I guess I should ask
this.
That.
Is Dylan.
I think it's because I heard her voice and she's probably singing. I knew for sure it was her when she walked upstairs and she said someone's here. That's how I knew for sure that it was Kaylee.
And I can hear Kaylee and Murphy like dancing because I can tell it's her voice and that it's Murphy because he's barking. And I can hear Kaylee because I can tell it's her voice.
You heard who go upstairs? Kaylee and the dog Murphy. Someone's here.
I hear her go upstairs because you can hear like everything. And I heard her say, there's someone here.
That's how I knew for sure that it was Kaylee.
So again, Dylan, now again, I know we all have problems with Dylan and she can't keep a story straight, but one thing she's consistently said was, I heard Kaylee and the dog dancing, and Kaylee said, I heard her say someone's here. She never once said Xana, but in comes Asgat Industries and it's completely changed. Xana's the one that says someone's here, even though it was over and over again, Kaylee. Now all of a sudden, because of this new narrative, it's Xana that said it, and Xana's the one that went upstairs and said it.
Yeah.
It kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
It
She's
is.
changing facts. She's changing facts. Yeah.
Right.
It shouldn't be allowed. There's enough confusion in
No.
this fucking case.
It's
enough.
at the very least, it's irresponsible.
Very much so.
Now, this next clip I'm going to show is it could be a long discussion on a short clip. Pavarotti showed evidence that a door jam in Kaylee and Maddie's room showed swipe patterns of blood going in two different directions. One is a swipe pattern showing blood as if the killer bumped the door on the way out.
Yeah.
But one shows a swipe pattern as if the killer drugged blood in coming into the bedroom. And so that makes a big difference because what Pav said is Kaylee was carried into the bedroom after she'd already suffered a wound from someplace else. And it's her blood that is on the swipe coming into the room. Kaylee was carried in, he's alleging, and the killer then bumped the door while carrying Kaylee in from somewhere else and hit the door jamb coming into the bedroom and did a swipe pattern only of Kaylee's blood going into the bedroom. On the way back out is Kaylee and Maddie's blood mixed together as he goes back out, allegedly chasing somebody down the stairs, according to the story. But try to follow the logic as Pav breaks down the swipe patterns on the door.
This one she got correct. This one is a perp swiping the door after bringing Kaylee back up and attacking her in the room because it is a DNA signature of Kaylee 70%, Maddie 30%. Obvious swipe going from the inside out, left to right as the perp left the door. No indication that it was because of Xana. Here's where her little thing, though, falls completely short. It's the stain that's just above that she noted, stain number 48, that did not have the same DNA signature of the mixture. It was 100% Kaylee's blood, no mixture of Maddie. And unlike her animation, this blood stain is going from right to left, not left to right. It always starts with the majority of the blood where it starts and then swipes until it gets more faint as it goes in the direction of travel. Her analysis of this is disproven by the evidence 100%.
These are
so in case you didn't catch it, this bottom that's shown here, the bottom spot, touch spot, is swiping as if it was leaving the room, and it's got mixed blood from two victims, Kaylee and Maddie. This swipe up here, which she doesn't address in the video, is coming into the room and contains Kaylee's blood only. And what he's saying is that tells you something, that somebody could have already had Kaylee's blood on them when they bumped and swiped coming into the door. And then both of their blood is on them when he hits the door on the way back out, kind of thing. So it's interesting because, again, Asget doesn't address that at all.
I think there's a strong possibility of that because it definitely looks like there was some kind of an attack on Kaylee on the second floor.
Yeah.
So I think Pav might be on the right track with that. The only thing I don't agree with Pav is maybe possibly his timeline with it, but I think he is onto something with it.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's a whole nother issue. But you're right. I think he made a good observation because he does show a compelling argument by showing the two swipes close up that the directionality of those two swipes are different and the blood is different. One, the one that's coming into the room is Kaylee only. The one coming out is both their blood. So it tells you things. All right, let's continue with this clip.
Markers left by the investigators. The scene here is where Xana sees Kober in Maddie's room. As he chases after her, he bumps the door with his left arm. This left behind a transfer stain that matches with Kaylee and Maddie.
So, I mean, to be fair, right? He could have had Kaylee and Maddie's blood lower on the arm and just Kaylee's up here because, and maybe when he hit the door, that's why Kaylee's is only up top and whatever. But again, it's the directionality that's the problem.
Yes.
It's the fact that it appears like the swipe is coming into the room that has Kaylee's blood only, and both of theirs on the way back out. So it's an interesting thing. All right. Now you talked a lot about directionality of things. So we're going to get into some Pavarotti breaking down some of those directionality of blood flow.
But said that the cups were struck from the side.
Which, if blood was to gather on the pong table due to that, then you would expect to either see swipe stains or spatter or cast off aimed in that direction. But when we look at the orientation of the pong table with the center crease line right here, same center crease line that you see right here, you see the true orientation of the stains. And they are coming from this direction, going this direction.
To find the direction of where it came from, you would draw a line through the tail and the center of the droplet, as illustrated here.
Her claim of swiping from left to right and being able to create these stains is absolutely ludicrous. Not only that, but the amount of blood that was on this pong table that tested only for Kaylee Gonzalez, and then swiping beer cups, mixing water with whatever swiped the cups, and then somehow changing the dynamics of the blood that was just scattered on the table from that with blood that's now scattered all over the half wall in the railing, and it changing the dynamics of the DNA from 100% Kaylee to 90% Kaylee, 10% Maddie is absolutely ludicrous and goes against all the evidence in the case.
So that's really it for the pop clips, and that's it for the clips for today. That I just wanted to share those kind of things. It's interesting because, again, in the argument that Kohberger came down and swiped, and when I first saw it, I thought, well, okay, so if he knocked over a bunch of liquid and then he drug his hand through the liquid and flung his hand that now is a mixture of a bunch of water or beer and blood, is that the explanation for the diluted samples on the wall? And I told the custody queens, I sure hope that's one of your questions for Brent Turvey. I want Brent, because Turvey makes an argument that there was clear evidence of a cleanup because they're diluted samples and have been wiped down. So I want to see if Brent Turvey agrees with this theory that it could have just been a mixture of water on his hand and blood, and that caused the diluted samples. But anyways, we got JJ from Stay Deep, who's joining us, by the way. JJ, welcome.
What's up, everybody?
JJ?
Coming off the premiere of your first video on your channel, your first long form. Congratulations on
Great
that.
job.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad, you know.
Yeah.
I had a couple of glitches, but it wasn't catastrophic glitches.
Nobody's flawless out of the gate. Well, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I mean, I expected that I'd run into some little bumps in the road, and I did, of course. But it was cool. I appreciate everybody's help. Thank you guys, DA, Robin, 11, Dago, for all your support. I appreciate it.
You did a great job.
Well, it was
very welcome.
Good. Yeah, good job. Glad that you got to get that thing kicked off, and now that your feet are wet, hopefully we'll see some more content of that. And did you catch any of our breakdown of these video clips while you were getting ready?
Yeah, I've been listening for about a half an hour, so I caught a bunch of the stuff that the Entin stuff, and just now the Pavarotti stuff. Thank you, Gen 7S. Yeah, I got another video coming out soon also. So I had family, as you probably know, I had family in town this weekend. So, and I've been running around. I've been juggling a bunch of things this past week.
Can you guys put JJ's link in the chat for some of the
some people asking for the link.
It's at State of the Deep on YouTube.
We have the link.
We'll put it in. So, in conclusion, with that Ascot thing, I mean, besides like stuff with the blood direction and all kinds of other, wrong data and wrong things that she showed, just the end result there of what she's showing. Where is Kaylee? Where is Kaylee and Maddie's blood in the room with Ethan and Xana? There's no mix. There's no blood. There's no mixed blood. Their blood is not there. So unless, again, we're going to believe what I don't know how. I mean, it's a good question for Turvey. If we're going to, I'm not bashing Sutton, but if we want to believe that whoever the killer was dancing around naked in the house, like
ridiculous.
There's no mixture of Ethan and Maddie's blood with Kaylee, and so
this is what I think. This is what's so dangerous about confirmation bias and getting the early story out that somebody's guilty before they've ever stepped into the courtroom. Because people immediately start forming opinions. And once you start forming an opinion and you open your mouth and you tell people your opinion, then it causes cognitive dissonance in you to be wrong, because you don't want to look like an idiot. So you hear something, you become convinced that, oh my God, did you hear about that guy that did all these killings? He did this, this, and this. And you lay it all out for somebody the first time you hear. And then when you find out that you had pieces wrong, you don't want to feel like an idiot for saying it wrong and overstating the position. So you dig in deeper and you look for anything to confirm that you were always right in the first place. And it becomes more and more difficult for you to admit that you might have been wrong and jumped too early. So then you dig in, which is why channels that keep reiterating the same bullshit story, despite all the evidence, are so big, because people don't like to feel uncomfortable that they were wrong and they have to admit that they fucked up somewhere and didn't use good logic.
They don't like to be wrong, and then the stuff with the play on words, even in Brian Etton's thing there, like, what did he go through? He went through, the trifecta thing there. Oh, well, they have his car on video. No, they don't. It's not his car. Like, Brian, he said he lived in Idaho. He said he lived there for 6 months, like covering the case, and he was doing all this stuff. Well, so much info. Well,
how'd you not see a million cars that look just like
Brian's car? Yeah, his car doesn't have fog lights. Explain. Show me. Where in the PCA did they say that Kohlberger turned his phone off? Oh, he turned his phone off. Well, it doesn't say that. Show me. Doesn't we've brought this up 1,000 times. It does not say that he turned his phone off.
No, and the thing is, words matter, and how they're used matters. And they know this. They know that psychologically, people will equate, your cell phone may have gone offline or whatever to, oh, he must have turned his phone off. And so then that's what they go to.
And another big thing I wanted to just throw in real quick. I know we're not really talking about him, but this goes along with that 40-page kind of drop that Cy Ray said. The main point, just to touch on it real quick, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it that BK is this super smart into crime, and he knows, he was studying how to crime scenes, and he knows how to do all this stuff and digital evidence, and he knows how to do everything, but then he just goes and drives his car right to the scene. Turns his phone off. Right. Like, you can't have it both ways.
Can I throw
runs around naked?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, runs around naked, the whole whatever.
There's a little wrinkle in my theory that I haven't really talked about before. The white car, right?
Yeah.
If this was what I believe that it was, that a cover-up of, but if in fact there was something happening bigger, meaning certain people knew something was going to go down, right? And they knew who was likely, who was going to be behind it.
Exactly.
Right.
Here's what I've never really spoken about. The car is sent there to be leaving that area at that time. It wasn't just a random person like speeding away, because if we all, I think, agree here on this panel, and probably most of the people in the chat, that it didn't happen when they say that it happened. Right?
No.
So they had it, they knew it was going to go down, so they had somebody in a car like that, so they knew what the car was going to be that they were going to use as a pretext for the narrative, right? And then BK has almost the same car, but not the same car, right? Oops. And people noticed that it wasn't the exact same car, and just pretend like you don't notice the difference, right? That's that's how psyops work. You don't acknowledge the obvious and pretend that people are crazy for noticing something, right? That's classic gaslighting. Right. So that's just something we haven't really thought of the possibility of, that car wasn't accidental being there.
Well, this is something that I've said before, and I haven't said it for a while. Molly McMichael said when she was trying to deliver to the house that her GPS, whatever she was using, she had a hard time finding the front door, because a lot of people don't realize the front door was originally situated a different way.
Yeah.
They added on a story
around.
to the building, right? And so the door was in a different place. So she was using her directions. She claimed, if you believe anything she said, she was using her directions, and her app took her to the back of the house. So she didn't see the front of the house. It took her to the back of the house where the original front door may have been, right? And it put her at the back of the house. But then she's like, well, this doesn't make sense. So she got out of her car from that back parking lot and walked down. Now, what I said before was, what if Brian Koberger his car was there, but he was lured there, just like we say Kaylee could have been lured to the house. And someone said, come to this address and meet me here. And so he goes, and he's got the same problem. He's circling the neighborhood if he was there, because the app doesn't clearly show where the front door is.
Yeah.
And does he end up at the back of the property just like Molly did, because that's where the app takes you to the back of the property? Now, follow this logic. If you're a killer and you want to if you want to blame somebody else and call in a tip to the FBI saying, hey, I think it was this guy, you plan your murders, and then you text somebody and say, hey, meet me here. You get their car coming into the area right when you want to do the murders. You do your murders, and then you say, hey, this car that just came in and left, you could plan it in such a way that you called somebody in that'll be seen on camera at the right time, the right place. You commit the murders, and you're like, hey, it's this guy. I'm pretty sure he came in right at the time and left right afterwards. You could do something like that. Now, is that super clever? I don't know, but it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Right. But then you would have the message on his phone.
Correct.
Saying,
right. You're right.
So,
and that's exonerating.
Like how you'd be screaming
right.
from the rafters, like, this idiot told me to go over there because he needed
You're right.
help.
That is a major flaw in my argument, right? Is that why wouldn't he just turn that over? Like, hey, I was told to come there. I don't, that's why I was there. He never said he was there. I mean, he said he was going the other direction. Right.
And I've always acknowledged that like I couldn't possibly break down every aspect of what type of operation it was. I have my ideas of what I believe was going on in that area, right? I have my ideas about the house itself. There was more to that house itself than most people might realize. But it's hard to know what all the machinations of like a crazy scenario like that, because there could be many other things involved that are really kept in the background, because you don't want to address things that might raise questions about a bigger thing going on, right? So you want to, hey, look over here. That's, in my opinion, why the time frame, the whole pushing towards this one time frame that none of us believe is accurate. It's look over here. Don't pay attention to what happened at this other time. And
yeah, my craziest conspiracy theory is, and I've hinted at it many times, my craziest conspiracy theory is this. They knew what happened in the house. It was probably some kind of drug hit message sent to somebody that was snitching to the cops. And they don't want to have to admit that they got somebody killed because of working with them. So they started to concoct a story. They started to review all of the surveillance video. They came up with video and said, let's say it happened during this time. We got this car coming. Like, they literally could have done the same thing anybody else did. Just looked through the video and found something and said, good enough. This car, we're going to say that this is the guy. Like, I don't know. I think they knew what happened. I really think they knew what happened in that house. And I think they concocted a story to shift it away because they couldn't let the public know what really happened. That's my theory at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they knew what happened and they don't want people to know what happened.
I think that's the most likely. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Happened also. I'm most likely. I mean, that's kind of what I think. But I think that the big something that ties in to sort of my theory a little bit from that perspective is that there was something with that house. It's more than just it was a party house. I think there was something else going on with that house, and it had been. And if it was maybe that house was being used in some kind of an operation in some way, shape, or form. And that's the last thing they would want to get out. The CI thing is bad enough.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if we had this research study going on, and we were using an off-campus house to base it out of, and then 4 of the people there got murdered, that would be blowback of a whole other level.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want to answer Mark and Betty's question. This is I don't know that I can answer it quickly. So here's the thing. If you believe Brent Kopacka in June on body camera footage, when he tells a police officer that he lives at the Pimlico apartment, then Brent Kopacka was living literally a stone's throw away from Brian Koberger's house. You could throw a rock and hit the Pimlico apartments. So if that's where he truly was living and not at the Steptoe apartments where he was shot and killed a month after the murders, then they were living very close to each other. Now, I don't know that anybody has been able to definitively at all prove that Koberger picked up Kopacka, but to go with the logic, if again, Brent Kopacka lived across the street from Koberger, then yeah, Kopacka could have literally walked over to the car, got into the car with Brian Koberger, and away they could have gone in the same car. In fact, show me any video footage that shows who's driving the car, the suspect vehicle 1. Not only do you not see who's driving it, you don't see how many people are in the car. You don't know if there's 2 or 4 or 5 people in the car. There's nothing that shows the driver at all. And it's not, so you don't have Brian Koberger, but you also don't know that Brian Koberger was alone, even if he was in the car. So you don't know that he didn't pick up someone like a Brent Kopacka. So those are where my thoughts are when you say, well, did he turn off his phone? So first of all, he left before the phone lost contact. So if to finish this long answer, if he did pick up Kopacka, then no, the phone wasn't shut off before he picked up Kopacka. Kopacka would have likely gotten into the car with them, and away they would have went. They didn't lose connection to the cell tower until they were leaving south of Pullman, according to Brian's story, heading to Wawa Park, where you do lose cell phone coverage heading to Wawa Park. If you believe the prosecution and Celebrate, he turned off his phone because he was going to go commit murder. And even though he was a cloud-based forensic specialist and said, well, you've got my phone data, I'm sure it's going to exonerate me, he was too dumb to realize that just turning off your phone wasn't going to be good enough. Like, anyways, I digress. I'm not sure.
Well, you guys, but Mark and Betty, I don't know if you are newer to the channel, because we've gone over that a bunch of times. Good old JJ Stay the Deep and Devil's Advocates had boots on the ground, and we had a show and they called in from that area, and they kept losing connection. So just to not to go like too crazy long, kind of like what we were talking about before with the play on words, and when Robin explained that words mean something and how you write it, they mean something. So in the PCA, if you read the PCA again, like, maybe after the show, look at it and read about the part where they talk about the cell phone. Nowhere does it say that BK turned his phone off. What it says is someone who would commit a crime like this would probably turn their phone off. Nowhere does it say we have proof that BK turned his phone off.
What they said was his phone lost connection with the tower, which is consistent with your phone being shut off. And in my professional experience, I have found that criminals often turn off their phone when going to commit a crime. That was the logic jump they took you through. He lost cell phone connection, which could be consistent with turning it off, which in my opinion could be consistent with criminals who do. But he never said he turned his phone off. That was a logic jump everybody made through that whole series of the phone lost connection to the tower. Yup. Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. And the fact that you proved it by going there was even better.
It's still happening today. Like I'm convinced if you go there today, you could prove it to yourself any second you want.
Yeah, because you guys couldn't even really get on the show hardly that night, because as soon as you would leave that area, your cell phone coverage would just completely drop.
Yeah.
Well, it was gone for a while. Like once we hit a certain point, once we got to a certain point, that was it. It took us a while to get service back.
Yeah. And Jenny 3333 says, why wouldn't he have left it at home? Even further than that, if he's a criminal mastermind, as they're kind of suggesting, because he can pull off the murders and not leave any DNA behind, why not establish yourself an alibi? why not send your phone or take it somewhere else and then leave it there and then drive away from that location without your phone so that it looks like you're somewhere else? You could use your phone to establish an alibi. So if he's so fucking smart, why not use the phone to establish an alibi? So your question is great. Either leave it at home so it never left your house, or even better, establish yourself an alibi by having your phone somewhere in the opposite place where you want to be, where you're actually at, so that it looks somewhere else. But apparently he's so smart he can get away with a quadruple homicide without leaving a trace of blood out of the house, whatever, but not smart enough to figure out how to establish an alibi.
And just to add on to something real quick to that, again, what I always talk about, pattern of behavior. We do not, as far as I know, I haven't seen any document or anything that's come out that shows us BK's phone data from the 6 months before, because apparently he's into stargazing and he likes to go driving at night, right? So I'm pretty sure that 11/13 or 11/12 was not the first time that he went driving in the park. So are there other nights that his phone shut off? That is important. Pattern of behavior is very important.
Yeah, just like they took all the selfie photos of him where he frequently takes pictures of himself giving thumbs up and salutes and stuff like that, but only isolated the one after the murders to make it look like he was bragging about the murders when it was a common thing that he did all the time. But if you only show people one photo and not all of them, it can be taken out of context. Hey, look, here he is saluting. Like maybe he does all the time. Like maybe like pattern of behavior. That's what he does.
The lead detective even said that his damn self. After the sentencing hearing, he said it. So it's 100%. It's a fact. It's not even a speculation. It's a fact.
And I love the fact that although they're using it for a different way, the mainstream media, I love the fact that they showed us all those photos of BK, supposedly after he committed the crime, because there's no way. I'm telling you guys, there's no way. I've been to like hundreds of just people fighting, assaults, all kinds of different murders, all kinds of stuff. There's no way that BK he's some kind of 20th degree black belt ninja that flies on the carpet going around the house, no footprints,
with 8 arms,
does all this stuff to everyone, and he doesn't get if we go by anything, we know Xana, right? We can all agree Xana
would have
fucked
him up,
right? Xana was fighting. I don't know about the other people. Xana fought, right? Even both of the forensic experts say that Xana fought. You're gonna tell me that this guy didn't get one little scratch, not one scratch on his body? No, I don't believe it.
Right?
It's impossible. Impossible.
Well, did you see the video I watched the other day, the one where the guy's saying how he cut his hand?
Oh, the chicken guy, yeah. On the side of his hand, it makes no sense, JJ.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. How are you cutting
shit.
A piece of chicken and you cut the outside of your hand?
On this side with you're right-handed, mind you, you're right-handed, okay? He cut the right hand. So I was asking people when we were reviewing that, if you're cutting, at least the way I do it, I'm right-handed. I'm going to use my right hand to cut whether chicken, steak, whatever the hell it is, and my left hand to hold it down with a fork as I'm cutting it or whatever you're doing, not the opposite. But okay, if you're going to be backwards with it, I'll give you that. But how the hell did you cut this part of your hand as you're cutting something from the inside? It's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
No.
And they didn't push him at all about it. It's just like, there's
not even close.
4 people stabbed to death, and this guy's got a bandage on his hand where he sliced his hand open. He filleted. That was his actual words.
Right. Exact words.
And they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense. If you listen to what he says, you look at his hand and how he explains the injury, you're like, what? There's no way in hell it makes any. And he was cutting, not to mention that he was cutting a chicken patty. That made it worse because initially I thought he was cutting like chicken. You're cutting a chicken patty and you did all of this. Come on, bro.
Right.
Yeah, that's some real crackerjack investigators. Let me tell you.
Sure as hell is, bro.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
didn't.
can you imagine interviewing the guy and having him say that to you? The reaction would have been like,
really?
Do you think we're dumb? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Really? Yeah.
The guy's like, so I sliced my hand open with a K-bar knife. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Did you clean it up when you were done? No questions about anything else, you know. You didn't get an infection, did you? Yeah. That's all we care about.
Yeah, it's
The dumbest shit I've ever
hilarious.
seen in my life. Dumbest shit I've ever seen.
It's almost like they're trying to like wink, wink, nod, nod at us.
And I wonder, by the way, there's a video. I will hope you guys can. I'm gonna show my ignorance. This is gonna be so. Do you remember we talked about this before? The car accident on Brandy Way the night before.
Right.
Yes.
And somebody ran over several people and broke some legs and stuff like that, and somebody got arrested for DWI. Was that somebody said there was a video that at that car accident, I think that Ethan was there and lied and said he was somebody else's name, or somebody else was there and said they were Ethan to the cops on the screen, kind of thing. And the reason why I brought that up is because when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, is that why they keep asking to the frats all the time? Was he involved in a car accident? Because somebody had a video thing about why is someone saying that they're Ethan to the cops when he's not, or something like that. And,
I never heard that.
You never? Oh God, yeah. So I gotta find it. Shit, can I find it? I thought you guys would be able to correct me on what exactly I heard. Somebody came up with the body camera footage, and it was like so-and-so was there, but when the cops asked him his name, he told them it was Ethan. Oh. And I was like, is that the Brandy Way incident? And did somebody say that Ethan was, and is that why they're looking into whether or not Ethan was involved in a car accident? Because they thought that he was at the Brandy Way accident the night before? I don't know. I'm looking in chat to see if anybody can know what I'm talking about.
I don't think I've seen that video.
Damn it! When I saw it, I should have clipped it. I thought, oh, that's interesting. I almost like made a big deal. I thought you guys will bring it up to my attention, but I guess
that was the first time I've ever heard that. Actually,
damn it, we gotta find it. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's out there. Shit.
I know we saw what we think is Kopaka at the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I know it was a YouTube video, and I know it was body cam footage. But what I don't know is whether or not the thumbnail and the YouTuber was saying this is what it says, because I didn't watch the video. They were just saying, why did he say his name was Ethan when, or why did so and so say they were Ethan at this accident? And I'm like, did that happen? But I didn't watch the video, so I had to find it.
Right.
Senior Wazowski says he thinks the guy that was hit by the car's name was Ethan. I'm not.
Oh.
That
one of the people that was run over in the Brandy Way accident was named.
Yeah, because it was a guy and a girl.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
But again, what I read was somebody lied about their name, saying they were Ethan when they weren't. Is that was the part that caught my attention. But
okay.
I think Brent Kopaka does have a brother named Ethan, but I don't know if Ethan was living in the area. I know Zach was living in the area in Lewiston.
Zach, Zach's the one I knew about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I still would love to find out why he was even in that area.
Who? Why Zach was in? Kopaka?
Yeah,
why was why is Kopaka in Pullman?
I mean, why is he across the country living in a college, in the midst of two college towns, basically? He's living in one, and they're both real close together.
Right.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, if you were a college kid, that would be a fun place to go to school, because you got two colleges real close to each other. You get bored of going in the same bars or seeing the same people. You drive a little further, and at least, you kind of get a little change of scenery.
Well, that's my question too. Is part of my question too is like, he's 32, I think 34, somewhere in that range. Why are you living in student housing on a college campus area at the same? What the hell? That's a great question. Like, what the hell was he doing there? Truly,
it just doesn't make sense,
right?
And like,
no, it doesn't.
I tell you the funny thing, when
really
we were
doesn't.
there. When we were driving around, we drove around a lot when we were there. Moscow is the main area, the town part, like the downtown, is very small.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we drove through it many times because it takes 2 seconds to drive through the town. But then, you go to Pullman and you got to drive there. It's not far, but you go and then you got another little town. It's probably it's bigger school, WSU, but it's still not
right.
You're not like in a city. You're kind of remote. So why would this guy go all the way across the country to be living basically essentially on campus in a small college town? It's very weird.
There's only a couple of things, JJ, that would put a man in that situation, in my opinion.
Yes.
One is a woman. Two is a job of sorts. Money.
Yeah.
Either a relationship or money. One of those two things is the only thing that's going to bring somebody in that situation. Period.
Right. Whatever the job is, whichever, it could be.
That's it. I mean, you're not going to move there just
right
I mean, granted, it's a nice area, but an ex-military vet is not going to move there for scenery. I'm telling you right now. So
yeah, but the weirdest thing about that whole thing too that doesn't make sense even more is that if he went for a woman, like people move all the time for a significant other, right? I where I live, every other person I talked to ended up here because of a woman or a man, right?
Right.
But he wasn't living with a woman, right? So
at one point he was allegedly, but yeah.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, somebody said he had a girlfriend that he lived with there. In fact, Pavarotti made a big deal about he must be into drugs because the girl that he was living with had a drug history. So therefore, and I kind of called Pav on it, like just because the girl has a drug history doesn't mean Pavarotti's doing drugs with her. But but I don't remember the details.
You said Pavarotti.
You mean Kopacka?
No, I said Pavarotti. No, what I'm saying is Pavarotti did a video saying Kopacka was living with a girl that did drugs. Did I say it wrong?
You said Pavarotti.
You said Pavarotti.
Yeah, you did.
No, Pavarotti's not doing drugs with anybody. So let's get that clear. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, see, that would make sense, right? That would make sense. Like you go there for a woman and then you end up staying in the area. But that's the question. Why? Why would you stay in the area?
I want to clarify something about that. So when the only video I've ever had pulled from YouTube was the video trying to show from public records the movements of the Kopackas across the United States. Brent, Zach, and his mother Darcy seemed to live in similar houses in multiple places of the United States, and they happened to have. Darcy owned the house in Lewiston that her son Zach was living in at the time, and had a house in Pierce, Idaho, maybe I think as well. So Darcy had moved out to Idaho, and so had Zach, and so had Brent. So now it still doesn't answer the question, why was Brent in Pullman, Washington? But what I'm saying is, it's not like, I wouldn't frame it exactly like you did, JJ, where he came across the country all by himself. His whole family came out here, or at least his brother and his mother, who seemed to travel together a lot. The three of them came out. So the question becomes, again, why Pullman? Because again, Zach was living, I think, in Lewiston. His mom was living in Pierce, maybe. And there's no explanation why Brent's in Pullman specifically, but he does seem to stick close to his family, and his family was all out in Idaho.
Yeah, but it's just still, I remember that part. It's just like for a dude his age to be living in a college campus area.
Exactly.
It just doesn't, because that's really the key part that baffles me. It's like, why not live by yourself somewhere, have an apartment somewhere else? Like, to be living in housing, college housing is very strange.
Yes.
I get the
impression people you don't like.
I get the impression that Brent couch surfed a little bit. He had been known to just check into a hotel if he wanted to for the night. He might have been living at the Pimlico at times, at the coffee house at times. It seems like he kind of couch surfed and around. Again, why? That's the $1 million question. Why is he in the area at that time? And if one wants to go conspiracy theory, you ask, did he come into the area for something? And is that why he was there? Because there's no other, he has no job. We don't know of any job that he had. We don't have any. He wasn't going to school there. So what exactly is he doing in a college town if you're not have a job and you're not going to school there?
Was he transporting things?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Right? Yes, it's a possibility.
Just saying.
They're difficult questions because, again, I hate asking the questions when we don't have proof that he did anything wrong. And in fact, if he didn't do anything wrong, his shooting is tragic. You know, so I mean, it's one of those things. Like, man, I hope. I don't know. I hate
something in that area
either.
that could have been helping him with his medical issues due to his mental health and stuff like that, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe there was something there that helped him with that, you know, like specialized training, or not training, but
a facility of some kind,
facilitations or something like that for that, possibly. That's you know, another option too, but there's not many options to think on with that. That's the truth. So it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it is. And when we were there, we were throwing around the idea of the SEL place.
Yeah,
you know, because if he had, I mean, I know it was talked about that he did IT stuff, and he was just so happened if he did in fact live at Pimlico, there's this giant, you know, place that we looked it up, and apparently they do work on projects that are related to like electronic stuff and things like that. And who knows if he could have been working for a place like that or something. I don't know. It's the whole thing's very strange. But Brent Kopacka is a guy it's like mythological creature now. Because
right.
There's so much mystery surrounding him. It's like Murphy the dog. It's like these aspects of this case that have reached mythological levels.
Yep.
Good point. Very good point.
Yeah. Great questions. I mean, they're difficult questions to answer. I've got, by the way, if you're new to the channel, because we do have a lot of people who are new to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I've been talking about Brent Kopacka a lot. I've got a ton of videos on Kopacka. A lot of my public records requests went to Washington State in the Kopacka files. I've got lots of stuff I've done. I've got member-only videos that I did on Kopacka. We listened to hours and hours of the actual standoff and shooting of Brent Kopacka. Answer the phone, Brent.
I have PTSD. No.
Anyways, we listened to a lot of hours of that standoff and have a lot of opinions on it. So it's a big thing. If you're interested in the Kopacka stuff, dig through my researchers, search for Kopacka. If you're new to the channel, search for the horror movie theory. That's a video that will give you a good jumping space off on Brent Kopacka, and you'll see why when you watch it.
We got some Ginger Peoples. I've talked about that numerous times. About people probably sick of hearing me say it. I haven't brought it up in a while that he could have been doing contract work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good point. And somebody else someone just said, DA, they sent you the video, the video about the car accident or something.
Okay. Just recently they sent it, like we were talking about it.
Yeah, let me. It's not that far back. Let me see. Yeah, damn it, I can't find.
I know. It now. Chat's off the hook.
Shit. I just
want to know where to send it.
Repost it if you
know where to send it. Okay.
Yeah, repost if you repost it again, and we'll catch it this time.
Yeah, it went by, and I didn't catch it long enough to.
What was
they said they sent it, so.
Oh, okay, good.
Hold on.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, it's like I think it's.
Is this
really,
the person?
Okay, here we go. I've got the video
got
pulled up. How do I
send it to you?
Yes.
If it's a link, you can send me no, you can't post links in the chat. So you could take our link to join us on stage, and we can have you then load an asset to the backstage area. We could do something like that. That's a bit of a risk on our part. We've gotten shocked by somebody putting something unsavory on our screen one time, and we
can send it. They can send it to one of us in Discord.
Yeah. There's none of them are
part
super
of our
easy
Discord.
ways.
Yeah.
Ginger says that it's his LinkedIn account stated that, and we've talked about that a lot actually on the show, but it's been a while since we were going down that rabbit hole. That a lot of guys with very specialized training do contract work. I mean, it's very, very common. Anybody that's in the chat that's been in the military can verify that. If you worked in either special forces or you were a SEAL or a Green Beret or a paratrooper or whatever, a ranger, you get contract work. I mean, it's fairly common. So that would not surprise me, and it would make sense.
I sent a link. Dawn said,
Wow.
Sent a link.
So
where? You guys looking for the link? Because Don Cap said they sent the link. Now, the one thing I need to clarify about the link, by the way, if you're sending a link to the car accident, that's like a 4-hour video. So we can't watch that full 4 hours. If you sent a link, the question is, are you sending a link to the raw footage of the car accident? Because that was long. I watched a lot of that. But
we got some info on some interviews with Peter and some other stuff I see that Connor posted. So Connor is another YouTube creator. He FOIAs a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So he says MPD confirmed that interviews with David Barakoa and David Loach do not exist. MPD is estimating $340 for 2 interviews with Pete and Peter Alariaga, whatever. His first interview is 37 minutes, and the second is 74 minutes. We have about 7 days to make payment. So he's asking for
the
donations.
money they're asking for these fucking videos are pissing me off. They don't need to be asking.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
They're getting rich to help lawyer up when they fucking have to fight.
So $700 so they want $700 basically for these 2 interviews.
The Richards Art, I have to say, this has been pinned for a while. The Richards Arts, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Sorry that we took you so while. That's the problem with our panel. We get excited, we talk a lot, and then we can't get around to our pinned comments. Thank you, Richards Art. But yeah, that's super interesting. And so the money, that's a tough. Like we do have a war chest, and we can help with these videos. The problem is that we should also be pushing back on their exorbitant prices. They're charging too much for public records, and they're soaking people for tons of money.
I tried
especially when you're giving us altered stuff.
Right? Yeah, they redact it and then charge you for the redacted version.
Saka Sud says I'll pay it unredacted.
Unredacted, right?
What kills me is I tried to.
Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead.
I tried to FOIA the David Loach interview along with Pete's in the same statement, and I was denied. And it said that we cannot process your request due to the fact that this information does not exist. Okay. How they interviewed the Sigma Chi House, correct? All of the fraternity members. Why is
that's David what it seems like?
David Loach is in the Sigma Chi fraternity. Why was he not interviewed is what I want to know. If that's true, I don't believe it. But why was he?
Right.
I don't believe that at all.
Right.
So
I'm going to step away for just a second. So you guys got this without me for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, Dago, it's a super big question there because we want to hear. He's definitely someone we want to hear from.
Well, right. And the only answer I can come up with on that is that it was done by the Fed. And if that's the case, why did you interview him with the Feds and everybody else with local law enforcement? That's what I want to know. And if that's, there again, that must say that there's something important with that specific person is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you remember early on, our pal JLR was driving all around the area and others, and they show all the cop cars at Sigma Chi parked like a row of them down the street.
Yeah.
It's just so many things. That's the problem. This level of obfuscation requires coordination. It's not accidental.
No, and like I said, if his interview is not available because the FBI interviewed him instead of everybody, Van Leuven interviewed everybody else in the house, it seems like, but him and David Barakoa. Barakoa had a written report. I read that. But the other one not having an interview and only possibly being interviewed by the Feds, that's a huge problem. That tells me that if the FBI is looking at him and they didn't look at everybody else, there's a definite problem there. There's a reason why they're doing that. There's something stronger and bigger there with that one, and that's important, I think. So,
yeah, it is. And Ginger Peoples just said, check this out. David Loach lived at 1119 King Road house, and which is super sus. Also, Baracoa put himself at the scene that night. I remember seeing that.
He did. He said he was one of the sober bros driving that night.
Yeah, I remember that. You know, I am still one of the things that I've been stuck on for a long time, and you guys know this, is the runners.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
That to me,
they've never explained it.
They never explained it, and I remember seeing that video come out, and then literally it was within 3 days, the mainstream media saying, "Oh, law enforcement." You know, because they reported on that video, you know, Ashley Banfield and all those people, and they're like, "Oh, they were cleared." It's like, how do you find out who the runners were and clear them within such a short amount of time?
Yeah, and why don't we know who they are either? If they were cleared, then why would you not put that out there?
I know, it's so crazy, man. That's one. Oh, and by the way, it just so happens to be around the time that all this other shit's going down. How convenient.
It's not too long after the screams.
Exactly.
Not too long.
Yeah.
Real quick, where's
Leah,
that clip? Is that clip 5 minutes? Because I mean, I would hate to have us all night long ignore this clip that she's trying to or send us.
Leah, if you give it to me in Discord, I can just pass it off to him if he doesn't have it here.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's what they're
I don't know,
saying.
guys. It's just it's one fucking thing after another with this case, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, you guys know Unfiltered Lucky, right? You guys know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, you know, follow him pretty closely and stuff, and he had a video I saw today. I don't know if it came out today, but I saw it today. And he's like, we're going to go back to the beginning and go over everything. And I'm like, you know what? That's not that bad of an idea, because the further away you get from one of these events, a lot of the shit the waters get muddied.
It's in private chat, Lee.
All right, I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing
Robin, whoever.
Okay.
Holy shit. Okay, how about this one? Logan just posted something on her community post. The Mason Barstow, he's one of the fraternity members. What the hell? The D, whatever the hell they're called. Anyway, it's nearly 2 hours long. $311 for that interview. Why? How are they getting away with this? Is what I don't understand.
Because you have to. This is where we've come to in the world. You have to fight people with lawyers to get anything done in this world anymore, and that's why I know this is like the most tired statement in the world, but that's why wealthy people are catered to, and they shit on everybody else, and they use money to manipulate people. Oh, you want this? It's $1,200. It's $20,000. It's whatever. It's bullshit.
They're saying that it's 15 minutes to search for. This is what they're charging for, you guys. 15 minutes to search for and retrieve the requested records. Approximately 106 minutes of video footage to review, and an estimated 45 minutes for redacting, 106 minutes for legal review, and 30 minutes for the administrative staff time to complete the processing of this request. The city estimates this request will cost you approximately $311.67 for 302 minutes of city staff time. Kiss my ass. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. There's no way it's going to take that long to do all that bullshit. And the cost to do that is bullshit too. I'm sorry. That's wrong. They're getting rich off this case is what they're doing. 100%.
They are.
Sure
they are. And they're going to need it for the lawsuits that are coming.
Exactly.
So I want to share. So look, we've had a long time somebody getting us a clip. It is only 5 minutes long or so. So I want to go ahead and take a risk and play this thing, and we can just comment on it live if you guys are okay doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, let me put this on here. Share screen. I'm going to share this screen with sound.
Good point, Giraffe. They are working. They're at work already working.
See here.
So I don't know what exactly is going to be on. I don't know what's exactly going to be on this video. So all warnings aside, the video did have a warning when I had to play it, said that this may contain inappropriate content, and I had to say I'm willing to see that. So caveat to all of us. I don't know. Yeah, thank you for the parental advisory. That's going to go over our faces, but I think I can maybe put us in this view, and that'll. Well, Dago's still stomped on over there. Which one is better? I don't know. We'll just go with this view for now. So I don't know exactly what we're looking at or why we're looking at it. This has to do with the Brandy. I think this is the Brandy Way incident. This happened the night of the 12th, I think November 12th, right? The murders happened early morning of the 13th of November. So this is kind of an event that happened earlier in the night. There was a lot of discussion around this because look, it's right near Kohberger's apartment. And people asked, well, you said Kohberger left his apartment at such and such a time. So is he caught on this video camera? That's the reason why this got to be such a big deal, because this incident happened so close to his house. Also, again, if Brent Kopacka was living at the Pimlico apartments, it's right outside the Pimlico apartments where this accident had happened. So that's all the setup we're going to do. Hopefully we have audio on it, and I'll roll it. And the first 30 seconds of audio, by the way, often on these body-worn cameras are blank, so that it did say the audio starts at 31 seconds. That's typical of when the body camera is activated, there's a 30-second pre-roll before the sound kicks in. So the sound should kick in about 20 or 10 seconds here, 15 seconds or so. So coming up. Okay, the sound should kick in here in about 7 seconds.
And that time is what, like 11:41, right?
Well, so that's Zulu
PM?
time, right? So that's Zulu time.
Right.
It's 7:41 a.m. Zulu time, which I think is going to be
take away
11 something.
So
yeah.
You subtract 8 hours, so I think it's 11:41 p.m. Just to be.
Audio? You hear the audio?
That's all we have.
Yep.
Is it damaged? Someplace?
Anything additional? We'll go that way until we get more.
Look familiar, JJ?
Yeah, it kind of does. We did a lot of driving around there.
6-3, do you need more for medical, or do you want us to respond?
I'm going to take a hard left here. Coming up. Yeah, JJ and I drove this whole area when we were there. Right here. All right, this is Brandy Way we're turning onto. And Pimlico Apartments is straight ahead, right in that area, all along that side of the
on the left side, and
that's
and
Pimlico.
the step toe, right, is to the right.
It's off to the right, yeah.
It's real close to each other.
Now, I will say, before we get too far, I do want to warn, I think this is the reason why it was flagged. So there is a woman who's been run over by a car and she's got broken bones. That could be very disturbing for people. And again, this is part of the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant to play something. So I don't know if we should keep playing it, because it looks like the people are in the road right here. That I haven't vetted this
trigger
video.
warning out.
All right. So for those who do not want to see something like that, please check out. I'm sorry about that. This is part of the problem with doing a live video. All right. So up ahead, you can see people in the road. That's the accident victims that got ran male and a female were run over, I think. I remember the female pretty clearly.
It's really hard to see him, so I don't think it'll be a problem.
Well, until I don't know if we're only. It said synced videos, so I think there's gonna be more than one body cam footage. So this is the dash cam, I guess, video. But
right.
Yeah, we looked at another one at a different time where it was right by where
right, and the officer was talking to the girl on the ground. Now, the person who gave us this link, if you know a specific timestamp that you really wanted to pay us attention to, please let us know, because otherwise we're going to watch the whole 5 minutes and, I only wanted you to watch the last 10 seconds. That's happened to me so many times, I can't tell you. Here's a 2-hour video. Oh, you watched the whole thing? I only wanted you to watch the first 15 minutes. But you told me to watch the video and it was 2 hours.
I'm not 100% sure, Hangman, how that happened. They're asking, were they walking across the street? Were they on the sidewalk? How did they get hit?
I think the car came over the sidewalk because I think they hit a fire hydrant as well. There's a fire hydrant that's been ruptured and is spewing water. So I think the vehicle came over the sidewalk and clipped people on the sidewalk. Although the girl's in the middle of the street, so she probably got ran over in the street. I don't know. They might have been crossing the road, and
she might have got launched too.
Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe the car, maybe somebody was crossing the street in the dark, and the car swerved and hit a fire hydrant and ran them over, and who knows exactly.
Right.
Yeah, some accident video is gonna be pretty graphic.
Right. I'm a little bit worried about the graphic nature that could be up here, but
like the one that I sent you guys off stream.
yeah.
The other day, I don't know.
And we're not doing this for any shock value. We're trying to get details about who was where and that kind of stuff. It's not about the shock value stuff. And in fact, I'll cut it off if it gets to be rude. It's not bad. Somebody said, okay.
I didn't think it was either. I heard it wasn't like anything really.
Yeah, I'm expecting to get rickrolled all of a sudden. Never gonna give you up. I'm gonna get rickrolled in the middle of this video. Well, there's a good view. We got a great view of an ambulance. So I'm gonna scrub along the bottom of this. Okay, so view changes right about here. Do you see in the scrubbing? We're all looking at one dash cam video, but it looks like something changes here. So we are going to get a different view. Ooh, there's going to be a body on the ground. Maybe.
I don't think it really shows like anything graphic as far. I mean, it's their legs are broke, but you don't see much. I don't think.
Okay. So right now we're not seeing a whole lot. Should I scrub forward to when the camera changes? Because we're just getting the sounds of like gangster rap from the cop car.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Kind of interesting to hear that coming out of the cruiser.
And those are pretty.
Yeah, this is the one I think.
Where
Wait, no, is this the one where he?
There's a picture, by the way. Oh, I was trying to go back just a hair. There's a picture. Shit.
I mean, it's coming down Brandy. It's just a normal thing, really.
Without headlights on. So
well,
all right, I think I went too far. God damn it. I was going to show one thing and then I fucked it up.
6-3. Here it is, right there.
Yeah, okay. Right here. That's what I was going to show. This street light area right here. There's a picture what it looks like Brent Kopaka walking past this accident scene right by this street light with this. So we did all the analysis to find out where it was. So again, Brent Kopaka said he was living at the Pimlico apartments on body camera footage in June. Koberger's over here in the Steptoe apartments. So were they that close to each other or not? It looked like Kopaka standing on the street. That hasn't been proven. I don't even want to go too far on it other than it's out there in the ether that he was there. But
checking. Well, no, they said Valley, right? Probably lives in this area. I mean, it's coming down Brandy. It's just a normal thing.
Did I go too far?
Headlights on. So
well,
they're leaving the accident.
They were damaged.
No, they didn't have headlights on when they hit them.
Oh, I didn't know that. You still got lights on and stuff.
Oh shit. That makes sense. Oh shit. No.
All right, that was a clip that was them driving past it. Let's see.
I think you went past it.
So here they are turning onto Brandyway. No, that's from a different angle. Yeah, they're coming in from SEL area, I think. Okay, here we're coming up on the crime scene. Okay, again, trigger warning in case this disturbs you. It is a car accident where somebody got ran over.
6-3, got 2 patients laying on the ground. What response do you have? Medics coming. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy that they're that spread out.
It looks like they got launched, like they got hit and got thrown a bit of a distance.
The car must have been going pretty fast because
I'm guessing, especially it took out a fire hydrant and all that.
Still, boss. Just lay still. Just keep his head as still as you can, okay?
I've seen some really bad stuff. This ain't.
I can't even imagine what you guys have seen.
Give me one more unit to the scene.
Bones protruding, legs bent upwards. It's crazy. Some things you walk up on and you look at like, how in the hell did that even happen?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Where does it hurt?
Everywhere. Okay. Everywhere. I knew she was going to say that.
On your knees?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what's your name? Is my boyfriend alive? Your boyfriend is fine.
So the part I'm having problems scrubbing through this whole video is I don't know what we're supposed to be watching for. Like somebody said they sent the link, and it's again I've seen this footage. I don't. Is there a specific area that you're pointing out? Is it because I was talking about it for the Ethan thing or whatever? And
I think they're just trying to show. Maybe they didn't realize you saw this part of it.
Okay.
So
see if you can find the part where we think we see Brent Kopacka.
I can't remember the girl's name. What was the girl's name driving the car again that ran him over?
Somebody posted it in the chat. Hunter Wagner and Caitlin Venner.
Venner, yeah, those were the victims, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought.
I'm also Washington.
Oh, Carmen Fernandez or something like that, wasn't it?
Perfect. So. Just gonna cross
yeah. What is it? Oh, yeah. Carmen.
Carmen was the driver of the car, right?
Home and address. Okay.
I can pull up the
what apartment number?
Yes.
Okay. And a phone number to get a hold of you.
Sorry.
Yeah, how many hunters? No Another hunter for fuck's sake.
I barely remember my phone number half the time.
They have multiple names in this. Hunters and Jacks and Jesus.
You gotta love redactions.
Okay. And your name, sir? Just common spelling? Yeah.
Yeah, so this isn't the one.
What's your middle name? You said?
Carmen Fernandez.
Yeah.
Fernandez. Someone just let me be
that's what I thought.
Right,
it was.
which led to a lot of confusion because Dylan added the phone contact onto her phone with a similar name, and they're like,
Brittany Fernandez, right?
Brittany Fernandez, yeah.
Yeah.
It was LeMaybe posted the name.
LeMaybe.
LeMaybe not, LeMaybe so. Les poissons.
Oh, I love les poissons.
How I love to cut and serve little fish.
So it looked like this.
I mean, I don't know what I'm looking for, so I don't want to waste a bunch of time if we're.
Well, there was definitely that part where when somebody, the guy walks up,
it looked like
right by the.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
He's right by the tape, by the caution tape.
So we have
right there,
right here.
Alarms going off, so I
right
can't
there.
have you in here because obviously that's
there is.
Is that him?
Some people think that's Kopacka, but I don't know.
Shutting the water off right now.
Well, the face is blurred out.
Through the parking lot.
Right. He's got
we had a video.
We saw a picture without his. Yeah, we had his face uncovered. Wow, we just got lucky with that. Hold on a second.
Right.
Can I back up just a second? Because I don't have a 30-second backup button.
Oh, just
Damn
use
it.
your arrow buttons on your keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
So
did I already go past it?
The old heave ho, Sarge. Cool.
Damn it.
City the second time. Okay.
I suck.
Do not cross to be pretty clear.
Okay, hold on.
And then the city guy drove through my stuff.
It's right after the officer walks up by the caution.
Right
tape.
here?
It's coming up like
Cool.
30 seconds, I think.
Walk with me. Talk with me.
Yeah, I see him on the sidewalk walking.
05. I've got the Dabco guy down here.
Yeah, here it comes.
Hold on.
Right
so
there.
we have just the water's running down, so you guys have alarms going off. So I can't have you in here because obviously we got scenes going on up there. But down in your guys' complex, I don't know. They're working on shutting the water off right now. Through the parking lot would be the best way.
Yeah, I mean that's not definitive enough to say that was anybody. So.
No.
We had a much
There was
better
a name thrown out.
view.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to put it away because I'm not sure exactly. That's like searching for a needle in the haystack without a timestamp, and so. Anyways, and we're at our normal kind of time. What else do you guys want to talk about before we go? This is we usually go about 2 hours. Actually, I shouldn't say usually anymore because now lately we keep stretching this shit out longer and longer and longer. But
yeah,
but usually my stamina is 2 hours. You know.
Well, it would be nice if they stopped kind of bleeding us dry. Just let us see the damn interviews. You know?
The amount of money, and by the way, I want to say this as just a little needle perhaps to Moscow Police Department. Every time I've requested records from Pullman, Washington, or Wickham County, they provided it for like, I think my total cost to them has been $30. I think my total, and I've got hundreds of hours of stuff, and I think I paid like $30. Moscow, Idaho, you ask for a 20-minute video, that's $600, please.
Well, just another quick piece of information is that what I just read to you about the one for $300 and some odd dollars. There was also a request for Connor Chestnuts, and they refused that one because they say falls under the it can't be released because it's under the FBI tag on that one. So I think anybody that has been interviewed by the FBI needs to be paid extra special attention to, in my opinion.
And you should be able to go and do a FOIA request from the FBI on it. But.
So, Lee, did you have you gotten a response back yet on the AVL request, or are they still ignoring you?
No, it's been 1 month. It's been over a month. So I just sent out another certified letter to them, reminding them that they have 10 days to respond, and it's been a month. And so, please give me an answer. So so we'll see. I did write back and said you've had over a month, and the requirement per law is 10 days. So either provide a written explanation for why you're not going to provide it, or provide it, one of the two. So we'll see. But it's a huge one, as you and I know. It's a huge one. It's one that I don't suspect they're going to want to cough up. And even if they were forced to cough it up, it's probably going to come with some enormous price tag. But
they all are anymore. It's ridiculous. And they know that they're going to get it from most of us, with the exception of the $20,000 drops and the $15,000 drops. We're paying for them in some aspects, so they're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, that one is an interesting one because there's no. So in getting AVL data from the police vehicles, there's no personal information to redact.
There shouldn't be.
It's just where did the car?
It's a document. It's not even it's not even a video. It's just show us the damn info.
Well, so people are saying in the chat, like, why the hell is his face blurred out? And I was thinking, because it probably is Kopaka, and
right.
Because other people's faces we have it
blurred out, right?
We have that video somewhere.
Yeah, I remember
we've
seen
it. Yeah, we have it on, and his face was not blurred out.
Yeah. So I think now, because people started talking about him, that they decided they're just fucking with people, man. It's so obvious.
They can, because they can. That's it right there, JJ. They know they can, and they're going to continue to do it. Hoping that we'll just back away and forget about it and move along.
Exactly. Yeah, we do have an unblurred face, and it did look like Kopaka when you unblur his face. That blurred face almost made it look like he had a beard, but the unblurred face does not look like he has a beard. In fact, by the way, the really interesting thing was Kopaka allegedly had a Facebook page in which the image of him on that street corner right there was his picture. So was that a faked Facebook page? I mean, people do that, right? They spoof Facebook pages, so it could be that. We don't know. Yeah, Wade Bird, Richard Allen's appellate attorneys, they basically had been granted, I believe, to sit in front of a 3-judge panel to review the appeal. So we're looking forward to that answer real quick. I think at this point, by the way, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Some people were mentioning Murphy earlier. We talked about Murphy. I think we're going to play out with Murphy, our song Murphy, which was done by AI, by Cat Farm, and some visuals for that. For those who haven't seen it, again, we have a lot of new people who haven't seen all of our music and our cute little videos, and we're always working on new stuff. We've got new songs, by the way, in the works now. Hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 ready to go next time, so that not next time, but very, very soon, so that you can see some new music and some new videos. In the meantime, guys, I'm kind of wanting to shorten up our closes because it seems like a lot of people kind of leave if we spend too much on close. So let's just go ahead and say good night as a group. And then I'll go ahead and fire up Murphy. I'll stick us to the side or below or whatever so that we can all kind of hang out and talk to people if you want while the video plays. Anything special you guys want to say collectively as a group before tonight's close?
I just wanted to thank everybody for supporting me with my first video on my channel.
Excellent.
So I really
really
appreciate thanks, and thank you to all of you, obviously, but to all the people, all the people from the chat, and all the the custody queens and Birdie and all of you guys, everybody in the chat. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job on your first video. Looking forward to more. It's going to be great. All right. In the meantime, everybody. Yeah, and the sizzle
was
reel,
really good too. Good job, Robin.
Good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
All right. This is Murphy, who is the key to the crime in Idaho 4. If you want to know how to solve this case, Murphy is the key to the crime. Well, play us out with Murphy, and have a great evening, everybody. Are you still working on the guitar riff, JJ, on this?
Yeah, I worked on it a little more.
I want to hear it when you do it. That'd be badass.
Real interesting guitar stuff.
Barking all night, but nobody hears. So far in the distance, then gradually nears. A fleeting encounter, then disappears. How did he leave? Did he fly with his ears? Murphy, he's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy, he's a cute and curly golden demigod. Not a mark on him, not a hair left behind. He's better behaved than all humankind. He'll clean up his paw prints for some bacon rind. Before you know it, he's gone. He's so streamlined. Murphy, he's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy, he's a cute and curly golden demigod. Traveling the universe through space and time. How do you do it? You're key to this crime. Are you here? Are you there? Are you anywhere or everywhere? Murphy, he's a magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy, he's a cute and curly golden demigod. You're such a good dog. You're such a good dog.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.